Where do I need to stay in this general area?
You can go all the way to the door
Okay,
from the TV.
perfect. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Chris.
Everybody, after having a lunch, it might be a little tough to stay awake during this breakout session, but we'll do my best to keep everybody awake. Is everybody enjoying the conference so far?
Yes.
Good, good. Well, Marcus asked me to put together a presentation based on food savings, and I also threw in a commodity report, which is something that I thought would be beneficial to everybody to kind of see some of the trends and forecasts with some of the commodities that affect food service pricing and your day-to-day activities. So we'll get started here. The agenda, we're going to look at three different areas. First is the relationship with your food service distributor. Just by a show of hands, who uses a food service distributor in here? You can raise your hand. Okay. And then maybe one that doesn't. Okay. What do you do for your food service?
Walmart.
Walmart. Hey, that's okay. So you're hustling.
Yeah. And Sam's.
Yeah. We have a few that kind of do a little mix of everything. So.
Cash and carry, Costco's.
Okay. Yep.
Restaurant depots.
You just got to figure out a way to get it done. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Number two, group purchasing organizations, what to look for when you're thinking about joining a group purchasing company. Obviously, you know, I work for Navigator, but this is definitely a neutral presentation and just giving you what you should look for when looking at GPO options. Certainly not a commercial for us. That's probably the last time you'll hear me mention it. And then thirdly is just a commodity report and forecast update. So the relationship with your food service distributor is an important one.
Preach it, brother.
It has to be a partnership. Hey, Paul, thanks, man. No problem. You know, if you have them on your side and they understand your goals and what you're trying to accomplish in your food service ministry and within your budgets, that's a good thing because they all work on commission. So in a perfect world, they would always be looking out for your best interest. Chuckles. But there's that one black sheep food service guy that may not be. And he may sign you onto the program and prices begin to creep up and everything. And so if you know your distributor rep and build a relationship with him or her and share what you're trying to accomplish and what some of your goals are with your ministry, and everyone's on the same page, it's just an added benefit to you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good customers get good service. You ever been at the mall and there's somebody that's just complaining about everything in the world, and they go to check out, and the girl at the register she just wants to get them out of the store. If you're the opposite way and you're good to your salespeople or good to your food service rep, you'll get extra service. When you realize at 4 o'clock on a Friday, holy cow, I forgot to order this for this event tomorrow morning, I'm going to call Mr. US Foods. If you're a good customer to him, he's going to throw it in his car and bring it over to you. And it doesn't matter, good customer doesn't matter that you purchase $100,000 from them a year or if you purchase $10,000 from them. But if you're good to them, they'll be good to you back and provide you good service. Does that make sense? Anybody have any experience with that? Would they like to share? Mm-hmm. Andrew, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I was telling his boss downstairs, Scott Goldstein, and like you said, they're a nonprofit, so they don't get commission.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they get some incentive for picking up our account, but as a church and a nonprofit, but every time I call him and I need equipment for a free coffee machine that's like $1,300, he could sit there and go, oh, you don't produce enough as this church for that machine. So I think depending on the relationship that he feels you're a loyal customer, you're purchasing in other places, that he's going to make it work even though somebody else might say, hey, this is not going to work for you.
That's a perfect example right there. Because like like you said, if he's not making a whole lot of, profit on the account, he could easily say, or just not call you back. But since you have a relationship with him, it makes all the difference. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
I don't think I'm telling you anything new. Take a visit to the distribution center. GFS, Cisco, US Foods, they love to invite customers to the distribution center, give you a tour, show you how it works, show you everything that goes into delivering one box of product and getting exactly what you ordered on the truck. It's impressive. It's neat to just see how everything works together, from the order entry to the pickers and the loaders and the truck and everything else. It's quite an operation, and most of these guys are so good where 98% or 99% of the time, what you order is being delivered, and it's impressive when you got a warehouse full of a couple 100,000 SKUs. So, take a visit. Ask to take a visit. A lot of times, they'll bring you in and do a business review where they may show you some new items. You may go to your rep and say, we're thinking about adding this to the menu. Can you show me some different ways that we can prepare this? And when you go in for a business review, they'll show you different ways. They'll show you different items, different ways to prepare them. Take advantage of it, because I would say 10% of customers take advantage of it, and the other 90% don't. Have any of y'all ever been to your distribution center? Okay. What'd you think?
Well, it's great, and also, they have the test kitchen there, and,
Yep.
they'll do menu planning with you.
They'll sit down and do menu planning. They have experts that stay in the kitchen there, and that's what they never leave. They don't go out and visit customers, but if you come in, they'll do whatever you want to do as far as putting things together. So take advantage of that. And then again, just understand the resources that the food service companies provide. I mean, we heard this morning, our three good partners with the GACHP. They're all great companies. They all deliver food, but they also have a lot of resources to help you with outside of food. Menu planning, they can work on recipes. They have a gazillion amount of recipes, and I know churches, the whole joke was the food service ministry and the chicken and the country food and everything else, and I'm sure everybody's got their special recipes everybody likes, but they got a gazillion others that you could at least look at. They have inventory control systems, different options as far as barcoding and scanning to do orders and inventory, and then even mobile order entry now. GFS has a great platform where if you're working with them and you place your order and then you left the church and you're driving home and you're like, oh, I forgot to order that extra box of something, you can pull it up on your phone, and you can do anything with your phone these days. As we all know, every time you pull up to a traffic light, you look over and everybody's on their phone. But now you can order your food from your phone. So ask about that. Ask your rep if that's something that's interesting to you. You can do it on your iPad from home, or however y'all do your ordering. So, with the show of hands, how many of you have a sales rep that calls on you weekly or bi-weekly? And then how many of you just put the order in online? Or it could be a combination of both. So, okay, that's pretty good. Any questions on this piece? All right, came to our first trivia question. Now, I had full intention of having 3 prizes, and I got hung up in Atlanta, and I didn't get in here until like midnight last night. So whoever wins these 3 questions, I will mail you your prize. I promise. But about an hour ago, I'm like, got the prize?
Yeah.
So.
It's the thought that counts.
But I'm serious. I'll mail. All right. First question. What is the average cost a food service distributor incurs every time they stop the truck at your location for a delivery? Anybody want to take a guess at it? Think about all that goes into it. What do you think it costs every time they stop the truck, make a delivery?
Just at that stop, or
Just every stop, an average. Every time they stop the truck, they have labor, they have fuel, everything that else that goes into it.
165.
Okay. that's-
125.
Okay. that's-
$200.
Okay, I think we,
195.
the average is $100. So, I gotta get your address.
Oh, okay, I can give it to you.
No, those are great guesses.
200.
Yeah, I just say 200.
Oh! Well, who said 125?
Me.
She did.
Okay.
She did.
Sorry, you
No,
almost
no,
got it,
that's
didn't
fine.
you?
Yeah, but if it goes to Oregon, it's about 300.
I gotta put
From
like,
Atlanta.
I gotta put a few extra stamps to get way up there, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
Or get a bigger pigeon.
Oh, there goes the gift.
She's gonna send you a pen now.
Don't let me forget. So, that's something to think about. That's a pretty big expense every time that truck stops. There's a US Foods truck sitting right there. I don't know why, but every time they stop to make a delivery, that's about what it costs.
Is that labor?
That's everything. What it costs to load the truck, the labor, the cost to
Right.
wash it, the
Oh, so that's gas and everything else
that's
too? Per stop?
everything related to delivery. So that's a big amount. So, if you call up your rep and say, I need 3 cases of $75 tomorrow, you might not bring it there. Good luck. But that kind of give you some insight into that. But good guesses. So some tips to save with your food service distributor: ask about drop size incentives. If you're getting 2 drops a week, or if you're getting 3 drops a week, go to them and try to negotiate it and say, listen, if I go from 3 deliveries to 1, what can you do for me? Can you give me an extra % back? They'll listen, because it costs money every time they stop the truck. So think about that. Specials and discontinued items. A lot of times, she's nodding her head back there, a lot of times distributors have items on special, or they have something that was discontinued, or a lot of times they don't always share that. Ask them about it. You could get a great deal, and you may be planning on serving chicken, and you find out that they have salmon that's on special, and you may, all right, I'm going to serve salmon now. That's even better. So, does anybody have any instances where they've been successful with that?
They had who I buy from, they had an overstock of potatoes, grade A, not grade 2, not grade 1 potatoes. And they were selling 50-pound bags for $9. And so we had potatoes for a good while. I loaded it up, hey, $9 for 50 pounds of potatoes, and they're grade 1 potatoes,
What would normally a bag of potatoes at grade A cost?
Grade A, grade 1, you're in probably $14, $15, $16, some of them up to $20 depending on. I live in an area where there's a lot of agriculture, so
So maybe a little cheaper there.
a little cheaper.
That's,
But $9 for 50 pounds, and normally it's $9 for 50 pounds of number 2 grade potatoes if you go for them.
not the good one.
Not the good ones.
So it's,
And every now and then, back during when the current recession started, a lot of restaurants went under, a lot of restaurants ordered bulk of food, stored in the warehouse, the order, and then didn't take it. And they had things like chicken and steaks and everything at really discounted prices to clear out the warehouse. And so,
yeah.
saved quite a bit of money there.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. If a chain restaurant may pull out of the city that you're located in, they could have some proprietary items or something that specifically they use that maybe go on special. Just ask, it doesn't hurt.
Also, when that, in the school year, because the US or Cisco or PFG or whoever that's, or GFS, that supplies the school systems, at the end of the school year, they buy up for the school year, and at the end of the school year, then whatever they have left that may be for schools, you can buy for kids' programs and everything else at half the cost.
That's a great example. They have to get rid of it before it goes bad during the summer. So that's a great tip. Write that down. Another way that you can save is through prompt pay incentives. Distributors all obviously like to get their money, and you may be able to negotiate if you pay your bill within 10 days or 2 weeks, or you may be able to get half a point or quarter point off your invoices. Just another another item to consider. And then, you know, utilize commodity forecast. Do any of you receive commodity forecast updates, anything from your distributor now? No? They got them. They probably do it monthly. So maybe get on an email list or some sort of a list, because, you know, if you know what's happening with commodities, that'll help you plan your menus.
Excuse me, so basically that would be, we were discussing it earlier, fresh vegetables, like even in Manhattan, their menus are designed according to what's seasonal.
Yeah.
So commodities would be the seasonal ones. So when the seasons are in between, you do canned. You know?
Yeah, you could, yeah.
And then basically but otherwise you always want to put the fresh stuff on there that are seasonal at the time. In other words, you don't want to get asparagus in, which that is a nightmare. You get on church, I won't say women, but they're set in their mind that I like this menu, feeding 200 people asparagus at the time that asparagus is at its height, and want to know why they spend way too much money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, I mean, if you're getting these commodity forecasts from your distributor and you're meeting with somebody who's, like, you're planning a big event or a wedding reception or who knows, anything that you guys do on a day-to-day basis, if you know that, hey, the price of asparagus is going up, maybe we'll offer them a different vegetable. Let's take that off the menu.
Sometimes with my salesperson, I have to pull it out of him. I mean, I just have to sit there and I'm gonna use this. What's going on right now? And then he'll come up and say, well, right now, he said, I noticed you like buy this, the next month it's going up. You might want to go ahead and stock up now. He does tell us that, but every now and then, like with fresh vegetables and stuff like that, you really have to get him the.
Yeah, but ask them. They have all that information they need to get to you, because it's part of their job. So what to look for when choosing a GPO or a group purchasing organization? That's a group that combines the volume, like a co-op, combines the volume of all their members, and they go to food manufacturers and distributors and negotiate deals for their members. So what are some of the things to look for when you're looking to save money through a GPO? You want to look for one that will be a partner with you. You know, some GPOs will sign you up and you'll never see them again. Some will work with you more and become more of a partner and help you. You know, if you have a question or if you're looking to purchase something outside of the norm, they'll work with you to help you get bids and quotes on things. And so that's a key. You want to be in a partnership with all the vendors that you work with, right? You know, you don't want it to be a one-way relationship where you order and pay the money and that's it. You want something from them too. You know, education is a big thing. I don't care if you've been doing it for 30 years, you can always learn something from somebody. So that's a big one. You know, education is power. The more you know, the better job you'll be able to do in your ministry. You know, ask them to show you transparency. You know, that's kind of the buzzword in business these days is transparency. I think because of all the scandals and different things that we've had over the past number of years, but there are a lot of manufacturer rebates and deals that never make it to you or you or you or you who order the product. They'll be sheltered from you by the distributor, by the GPO, may not pass the dollars along, but these deals are out there. So ask them to show you the rebates that are out there, what you'll receive from being a part of the program. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do the companies yourself not have anything online that show what's rebated? You know, like for instance, a Cisco or US Foods, do they have anywhere on their online that these are being rebated at this time?
Yeah, if you order from Cisco now?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are under a GPO program, flag next to items under Cisco.com, there would be the little